Of course, a little bit with the family. Then also I stopped racing, and then we all together.
Listen, guys, a man who has a contract until 2028 is publicly thinking about quitting Formula One right now, not because he lost, not because he is slow, but because he simply does not enjoy driving anymore. And the scariest part, he is completely serious about it. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why the summer of 2026 could permanently change Formula One forever. So, let's break it down. What actually happening this summer? But before we dig deeper, hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns. The contract trap. So let's start with something that almost nobody is talking about properly. Max Verstappen has a clause buried inside his Red Bull contract, and this clause is essentially a ticking bomb right now. Here's how it works. If Max is not inside the top two in the Drivers' Championship by the summer break, he can legally walk away from Red Bull. No buyout, no compensation, completely free. Now, here's the crazy part. When this contract was originally signed back in 2022, the threshold was top three. But then it got tightened specifically for 2026 to top two. And the reason it was tightened is because everyone inside the paddock already knew that the new 2026 regulations could completely flip the competitive order. So think about this for a second. The clause was designed to protect Max from being stuck in a slow car. But right now, with Max sitting in P9, Red Bull themselves have become the slow car that could trigger it. That is the trap nobody saw coming. And the worst part is, with every single race that passes, the window for Red Bull to fix this is getting smaller and smaller. Red Bull is falling apart. And honestly, when you look at what is happening inside Red Bull right now, it makes total sense why Max is where he is. Because this team is not the same team that built 4 championship-winning cars around him. Adrian Newey, the greatest car designer in Formula One history, is gone. Christian Horner, gone. Helmut Marko, the man who spotted Max when he was literally a teenager and guided him through his entire career, gone after more than 2 decades. And just recently, Oli Shack, Max's trusted mechanic, who had been with the team since their very first race back in 2005, reportedly submitting his resignation as well. Every single person who understood Max, who built systems around his driving style, who knew exactly what he needed, they are all gone. And on top of that, Red Bull is running their first ever in-house engine, a Ford-partnered project, and right now that engine is seriously struggling. The team is sitting 6th in the Constructors' Championship. 6th. This is Red Bull we're talking about. The same Red Bull that once made every other team look completely helpless on a Sunday afternoon. Max versus the 2026 cars. Now here is where it gets really interesting, because Max has been very loud about something that goes way beyond just Red Bull struggles. He genuinely hates what Formula One has become in 2026. And when I say hate, I mean he called it Mario Kart, publicly, on record. Here is what is actually happening with these new cars. The power unit is split roughly 50-50 between a combustion engine and an electrical battery system. And what that means on track is absolutely wild. You accelerate out of a corner with full power, then 200 meters later, your battery depletes. The guy behind you gets the same boost, and he closes the gap instantly on a straight where you should have been pulling away. Then it reverses. Then it happens again. It is completely unpredictable. At Suzuka, Max got knocked out in Q2, a full 1 second slower than the pole sitter. 1 full second. And in China, he retired with 0 points. After Japan, he told the media he was beyond frustrated. Actually beyond frustrated, he said. He does not even have the right word in English to describe how he feels. And then he told the BBC something that stopped everyone in their tracks. He said forcing himself to give 100% to something he is not enjoying is simply not healthy for him mentally. Max's escape plan. So while all of this is happening inside Formula One, Max is quietly building something on the outside. And this is the part that tells you everything about where his head is right now. He recently raced at the Nürburgring Nordschleife in the NLS2 event, took pole, dominated the race, and even though the car got disqualified after due to a tire infringement, the point is he was there. He was loving it, and he looked like a completely different person behind the wheel compared to what we are seeing in the RB22. On top of that, he is now officially confirmed he will race in the Nürburgring 24 Hours in May alongside Lucas Auer for Mercedes AMG Team Verstappen Racing. He has also mentioned Le Mans, the Spa 24 Hours, and spending more time at home with his family. These are not random comments. This is a man who is genuinely mapping out a life outside of Formula One, and that should make every F1 fan a little bit nervous. Stay or leave? So now the real question. What actually happens next? Because this is where it gets complicated. If that contract clause activates after the Hungarian Grand Prix, Max would have until October to formally tell Red Bull he is leaving. 3 months to make the biggest decision of his career. On one side, you have Mercedes, leading the 2026 championship. Toto Wolff has been chasing Max for years, and right now they have the fastest car on the grid. On the other side, you have Red Bull, the team that built an entire era around him, the only team that has ever truly understood his driving style. But here's the thing. Sources close to the situation believe that if Max walks, it is more likely to be a sabbatical than a full retirement. A step back, some GT racing, maybe Le Mans. David Coulthard even compared it to Fernando Alonso, who left, did endurance racing, and came back. Kimi Räikkönen did the same thing. These comebacks happen. But the list of drivers who stepped away and never returned is honestly longer. What happens next? All right, guys, so let's bring it all together. Max is sitting P9 with a contract clause that could set him free after the Hungarian Grand Prix. Red Bull has lost literally everyone who made them great. He hates the 2026 cars at a fundamental level. He is already racing at the Nürburgring and talking about Le Mans, and the decision point is coming faster than most people realize. Personally, I think Max is not done with racing, but I genuinely believe he might be done with this version of Formula One. And honestly, can you blame him? But here is the question I want to leave with you. If Max Verstappen walks away this summer, does Formula One lose its biggest star at exactly the wrong moment? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to know what you think.